All right, people. All right, what is going on? This is episode 253 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. It is a very exciting time. Very, very exciting time, especially if you're in the area of the Southeast. Recruiting day, not just for my Georgia Southern Eagles, but all of college football. But here in the southeast of the country, this is like a big day for all the colleges in the southeast, in the area. But we're going to be talking about Georgia Southern football. Big changes just has happened. And let me tell you guys, it's official. The transition has started and it is official. Based on the guys that we got in here, we are going away from the option game. Point blank. I mean, this is about to be a really big makeover of what we known as Georgia Southern football, and it's an exciting time. So we're definitely going to be talking about that. Also, after I get through the National Signing Day and the signings of the Georgia Southern Eagles, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons. Can they go 4-0 for the rest of the season? Believe it or not, it's not as far fetched as you think it is, and it can happen. At the least, it's more realistic if they go 3-1 or 2-2, but it's a high possibility they can go 4-0. But we'll talk about that in the next the next chapter of this episode. Like I said, this is the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Welcome if this is your first time here. Really appreciate it. I do this show every Wednesday night, be uploaded Thursday morning for you guys, so you guys can get a feel of how of what my takes on Georgia Southern football and Atlanta Falcons football. I talk about them daily on the YouTube channel, and I put up an episode every week on iTunes, Google Play. I'm not on Google Play. I take that back. It's there, but it hasn't been updated in a while for some reason. So I'm on iTunes, Anchor, and Spotify. And also, you can use the app of Podcast Addict. It's one of the apps that's very easy for you to find the podcast as well. If you're over there listening right now, don't forget to give this a 5-star rating. If you're over here on YouTube watching me, where you can see me visually, put a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're getting really close to 1,000 subs. So it's just a phenomenal time going through making content, talking about my favorite football teams, and enjoying and the feedback and just the back and forth that I have on my social media platforms. If you want to check me out on there, just hit the Twitter, put in VF Baller, and I'll pop right on up. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. The intro was pretty cool, but I like to talk about what's at hand here. You see it on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. National Signing Day, we end up getting 20 guys, and out of the 20, 17 of them was from the state of Georgia. We did get one transfer. I mean, when you talk about stuff like this, it's just a phenomenal thing where you can get guys like this that are ready to go. And I really mean this. I think these guys have the talent that they're to be ready to go, and it's really astounding when you start getting this kind of talent coming to a program like this. Usually, when we have guys that come to Georgia Southern, you'll see some things that are up and down. That's not really, you know, core. I ain't gonna say, well, football ready. They have some polishing they have to do, whatever the case may be. They may get a chance, they may not. But I can literally see every single person that we picked up on on signing day actually getting some form of playing time. I don't know what Coach Helton and company has done, but what they done, it was like it was phenomenal work. It's just amazing what they've done. You have to understand right now, Georgia Southern has 17 natives, 17 guys from the state of Georgia. That is the most by any FBS school, topping the likes of Georgia Tech, Georgia State, and even the Georgia Bulldogs. That is a phenomenal work by these guys at Georgia Southern. Coach Whitley, Coach Clay Helton, um, Brian Ellis. Those guys come in and just started running, on the ground running, just taking things by the horns and making it happen. So, out of the 20, like I said, 17 are from the state of Georgia, 2 from South Carolina, 1 is from North Carolina. One person who did sign is a transfer from the University of North Carolina. He's back home to play in the state of Georgia. He's from Georgia, and also he actually is now what I'm about to say. Oh yeah, he reunites with one of his teammates that was at North Carolina in Quadri Jackson. So I mean, everything's just falling into place very well. So we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about what these guys can do, what they're bringing to the table, and what they can do, in my opinion. So I'm going to do this. I know I haven't done this in a while. I know if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. A lot of you guys are probably just new to the channel. Y'all probably don't know much of my content last year, but around this time last year when I was doing just regular videos, and I wasn't necessarily doing the show like this, but I was doing regular videos. But every time I talk about Georgia Southern, I think it's a good time to put on the shades, because it is a really, really good time to talk about Georgia Southern football. Now, let's get into some of these signings. We one of the first people that we got on deck was Zach Roseman. Definitely he was the first one that was posted that he signed, and I'm going to go in the order that how that happened. Zach Roseman definitely is one of these type of quarterbacks that you will want in your arsenal or on your roster when it comes to playing football. Zach Roseman has he has the size. He's pretty mobile. He throws on the run very well, and coming from what is it, Walton High School in Georgia. He does a phenomenal job at commanding the offense, and this is something that you would want to have in a quarterback position. Now, before I even go any further, we already know who we have at quarterback at Georgia Southern right now. We have Cam Ransom. We also have Connor Sigelski, and this doesn't take anything away from them. But when you bring in guys in, this is the type of stuff that you will want, that continuity of this type of quarterback. Throw a little bit of stats out there. He passed for 6,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and over 30 career starts. Played 12 games as a senior, and he passed for 1125. And his senior season with 10 touchdowns, ran for 153. So the numbers were a little bit down compared to his junior season. He had 1794 with 217 rushing yards and 19 total touchdowns. So it's a little up and down right there, but I say at 6'3", 200 pounds, this is what you would want to have as a quarterback. Stands in the pocket, can move around a little bit, and actually throw the ball. I'm liking what I see with this pick. I think this is a phenomenal pickup for Georgia Southern, just to continue to have that continuity with guys that are going to play quarterback at Georgia Southern under Coach Helton. Like I said, it's been a long time coming for us to have certain quarterbacks here that are more prototypical, and this is a great start for Coach Helton and his regime. Really, really good pickup right there. One of the people that he got was Pashawn Wembley, offensive lineman, 6'3", 315 pounds, from Moreland, Georgia. Went to high school at Noonan. He went to high school at Noonan. I watched this guy, and he moves people around. At 6'3", 315, there's no, the reason why he can move guys around. He's not playing around. I looked at some of his film. The film looks great, and I'm looking at guys that are trying to protect the quarterback. This is the one that you want to have. Very good at what he does. Pretty good. He seems like he's a pretty good pass blocker more than anything, because he's good at keeping guys, in a phone booth. They can't move around. Once he gets a block on you, he holds you up, and he pretty much have you in a space where you can't get out of. And that's really good when you want talking about pass blocking offensive linemen. He's not too much of a mauler, but he does make sure that you are protected. Very good pickup over there, from all the way in Noonan, Georgia, on the other side of Atlanta. Really, really good pickup right there. The next person they picked up was Christian Varner, defensive lineman. This is the guy I was telling you about, from North Carolina. He's from Hiram, Georgia. He is transferring back to Georgia Southern, to the state of Georgia, to play at Georgia Southern. He's going to be playing with his former teammate Kadri Jackson, and another disruptor. A guy that looked like he's ready to go at 6'4", 300. Look like he's ready to put some work in and take some guys down on the defensive line. We got some really good ball hawks and some pretty good guys who can get to the ball on defense. We're going to talk more about that a little bit down the road. But Christian Varner, good to have him here with some experience. It's going to be really interesting to see how he plays, how he fits in with the likes of the other guys that are there on defense. The Eldrick Robertsons of the world and others. It's just going to be really interesting to see that. But we'll talk about that once everybody gets in and acclimated at the school. The next person that was posted, that was this is a special kid. This is a special kid, and I see why these guys were so successful at the high school level. They come in pairs, but I'm gonna talk about the first one first. I'm gonna talk about the first guy first. I said that twice. David Dallas, quarterback, Sharpsburg, Georgia, Trinity Christian High School. Man, when you talk about a quarterback, now there's nothing to take away from any of the quarterbacks we got now, including Zach Roseman. But this kid, I'm gonna tell you, this kid can throw the football. I mean, beautiful deep ball. Improvises very well when it's time to get out of the pocket, or just find a way to stay in the pocket and stand upright and throw the ball. Very good instincts and awareness. Can find a way to he can find a way to keep his shoulders straight and his face on his head downfield to see who can throw the ball to. Very high accuracy with the type of the football, the way he throws the football. Strong arm. Comes off as someone as a gunslinger, but he's very, very accurate. And I'm really liking what I see out of David Dallas. When it comes to the quarterbacks, like I said, you already know the other quarterbacks we already have. We have with Ransom and Segelski. Now we got Roseman. Dallas could be one of those guys that's just going to compete for a starting job, and it is a good problem to have, because Cam Ransom was my favorite pickup from last year, and I have another favorite pickup on this year too, and I'll talk about that person a little bit later. But when you look at a guy like David Dallas and you see somebody who's out there trying to make plays, just flat out playing football, there's guys that just jump off the screen. When you're at the games, they just jump off, they just jump off the field. They catch your eyes when they're on the field. And he's one of those guys. Very, very talented guy. And it just shows you, it's the reason, one of the main reasons why they won the state championship in their region. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Now, like I said, this come in a pair. The second person, his brother, Josh Dallas, 6'1", 215, same high school, Trinity Christian. Look, I'm talking about another guy. Great hands. I mean, great hands. You should see some of the highlights. One phenomenal one-handed catch that he had in the end zone. I mean, it was beautiful. Maybe one day if I do a Georgia Southern spotlight, a GS spotlight like I normally do, I'll probably put that up on the YouTube channel. But I'll say like Josh Dallas, man, like I said, great hands, mixed physical, good receiver with speed, very good on special teams as well. Not afraid to go up to get the ball. I mean, it's just one thing about and don't think he don't have speed. He has really good speed, and it's just phenomenal when you see the way that him and his brother play together, and it just seems like they just have like some type of chemistry going on. Because you have chemistry with your quarterback and receiver. You see the chemistry between the two, but for the fact that they're brothers is like an enhanced, extended, in chemistry that's on another level. So it's really good to see both brothers coming to Georgia Southern to play football together. That is pretty cool. Now we have another receiver, big, strong, physical receiver, Marcus Sanders Jr. He was a recruit that was flipped, and I'm gonna tell you something about flipped recruits. Josh and David Dallas was supposed to go to Western Michigan or something like that, and they got flipped to come back home to play at Georgia Southern because they're from Georgia. Same thing with Marcus Sanders. I think he was supposed to go to another college. I don't get me wrong. I don't want to say, which, college, because I'll be honest with you, I cannot remember. I'll be sitting here, lying, and I don't want to do that. But, from Macon County High School, Montezuma, Georgia, he was going to be at another college, but he flipped, and 6'3", 195. What can you say? Another physical receiver. Has breakaway speed. Has really good breakaway speed. Don't mind going up to get the ball as well. But one thing about him I noticed when I was looking at his tape, Marcus Sanders Jr. he has the tools to be a really good route runner. I've been watching some of his footwork. He can move around a little bit. Could use a little bit of polish in that area, and that's not. I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, but if he gets with the right guys, he could be an elite route runner, and that'll be very rare for a guy that is 6'5", 6'3", 195, and can do what he do. So right now, we know we had an issue with wide receivers. Now, outside of Caleb Hood, you also had the likes of Derwin Burgess, which I'm very high on him. With these guys here, we have a very good receiver corps so far. Even with JJ McCaffrey, we got really good guys who can play receiver right now. So that is very, very cool to see. Now, not to be done and not to be finished, we got a couple more receivers we're going to talk about. One is Dalen Cobb, 5'10", 185 from Washington, Georgia. Played at Washington Wilkes. I'm going to tell you something about this kid right here. You're talking about somebody who's fast. This kid can move. One thing about Dalen Cobb, which I would, if people watch this tape, you'll understand. I think Dalen Cobb would flourish. He would flourish. He would be really good in the old system that was running at Georgia Southern. Spread, option, quarterback that's going to run a lot. Because that's what he did at high school. Yeah, but they're going to move him to the slot receiver, and I think this is a really good move for him because him being slightly shorter than the other receivers that we have, because the ones that we recruited so far are at least 6 foot plus or higher. This would be a really good move for him to be in the slot and see how that plays out. Like I said, speed. This kid is fast. He is really good, and I will put it this way. He's going to be a slot receiver, but he got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. He's one of those kids that just seem like if he gets the ball in his hands, good things are going to happen. So just look out for that. Hopefully that works out as well. But it looks like, we got more speed, more versatility at the wide receiver position. Now, the next person that was picked, that was posted was Chandler Strong out of Warner Robins, Georgia, 6'3", 300 pounds, out of Houston County. Houston, not Houston, because some people who don't live in the state of Georgia, they think that's Houston. No, it's Houston County. And the name says it for itself. I mean, you talking about somebody who's nasty, somebody who can push guys around, aren't playing around when it comes to uh, playing the position. I mean, I was looking at some of his highlights. Let me see if I can go back and look at a couple of them real quick. I was looking at some of his highlights, and Chandler Strong was not playing around with some of these defensive linemen. It was just it was almost, oh man, it was almost criminal. It was almost criminal how he was like pushing these dudes around. Big, big physical offensive lineman. Love to see it. I mean, absolutely love to see it. This kid is not playing around, and this is what you would want to see. And I think he's one of the kids. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong, and I don't want to say this, but I don't want to tag this to him. But I think this, you got a handful of kids that are going to be on campus right away. And I'm talking about like next month, and they're going to be in line to be with the strength and conditioning coach, Steiner. This is gonna be great if he's one of them. I can't remember, but I think he's one of them. But if you go and look at this kid's highlights, I mean, my God, this kid does not play around. He is moving around, excellent run blocker, pushing guys over. I mean, some of these high school kids, I felt sorry for him. I really did. I felt sorry for whoever had to block him, or if he was in the way trying to move you out the way because the running back was coming by. I mean, good luck. I mean, it was just, I mean, but it's good to have him on our team. But man, some of that highlights was just crazy. So, very, very good, very, very good offensive lineman. Hopefully, we'll see how that plays out once he gets on the field. Jumping back to the wide receiver position, next person who signed was Joshua Thompson. Very fast. I want to say, I talked about all the other receivers we had so far, and right now I've talked about, 3 of them so far. This is the 4th one. Nicknamed the Jet. Joshua Thompson, or Jet, from John Creeks High School, 5'11", 185. He's probably the most complete receiver in this class that of our signing, of the 4 that we signed. And I say he's the most complete because he has the prototypical size and speed to catch screens. He goes over the middle. He can beat you over the top of the blow the top off of the defense with his athletic ability to run past defensive backs. Can do it all on that level. I mean, he looked like he can do anything of asked of him, because you have different receivers that are just straight possession, some that go up and get it at a tall, some guys who are mostly like blocking wide receivers. It seemed like he could do a little bit of everything, and I'm actually really impressed that Coach Helton and them was able to get this guy to actually commit here, because he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be really special. If the quarterback can get the ball to him, which I think he will be able to in this offense, you're going to see some really good things out of him. Now, you're going to see good things out of all of these receivers, in my opinion, but with Jet just seems like he's one of those guys he's the complete package. Even though he's not the tallest and he's not the smallest, but he literally can do a little bit of everything. And it's really good to see that this offense is really changing right now, guys. Georgia Southern is like really changing, and it's really crazy to see. But that's what's going down right now. Next person who signed, goodness, what do I need to say about this? Prototypical Georgia Southern style running back, Amari Arnold, 5'9", 180, from Valdosta, Georgia. Played at Brooks County, put on a show in the championship game. Ran 21 carries. I think he had please don't get me wrong on that. I think he had like 21 carries for like 320 yards. I mean, just unreal stats in a game like that. And I'm just sitting here just blown away, like, yes, I'm glad we got him, because when we talk about Georgia Southern football, not like I said, a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are changing at Georgia Southern, but some things that don't need to change. And one thing is the type of running backs we have. And with Amari Arnold here, it just continues to be a part of that tradition of great running backs. just great running backs. So it's just awesome to see. Like I said, put on a show. In the championship game, ran for over 300 yards. Just phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. Good to have him here. Deshaun Davis, defensive lineman out of Charlotte, North Carolina, went to Hogue High School. And let me tell you something about this kid. Deshaun is a guy that's just straight up get out the quarterback. That's just all of it. That's what it's just all about with him. The interior lineman, the defensive lineman, pure tackler, just get straight at the quarterback. There's nothing else to talk about. Going at the quarterback, going to do what he has to do, and can't wait to see him suit up as well. When you look at him right now, he is at 6'3", 280 pounds, and full of just ferocious ability, just dominant ability, just willing and doing anything he can to get to the quarterback. And if you look at some of those highlights, you will see exactly what I mean. Great pickup on the defensive lineman with the likes of Varner. And I think C.J. Wright is going to be gone for the rest of, because he's graduated. So it's a very good feeling right there. So it looks like we're not going to miss a beat at all. All right, next person, Zaire Horton, 6'2", 200 pounds, from Milton, Woodstock, Georgia. This kid right here, I think they moved him over to linebacker, I think. But Zaire Horton can play both. He can play safety or the linebacker. Seeing him move around in his highlights, can do a little bit of everything. Sure tackler as well. Probably could get at the ball if the ball is in the air on defense if he's playing in the secondary. So Zaire Horton, another good player right there. Good to see him be picked up because our defensive backs, if anything, if we do get him at defensive back, that's one thing that's been lacking big time. Next person is Jacob Hammonds from Griffin, Georgia, went to Griffin High School. Another kid that can get at the quarterback. Seen him, do some things as far as pass rushing. A lot of the linebackers that we did pick up is like a lot of them are pass rushers that they can, get at in the backfield. And it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out if they're going to be moving in and out of the secondary, trying to do some coverages, as well as trying to stop the run as well. So we'll see how that goes. Linebacker, the next person who signed was actually picked up as not linebacker, but picked up as an offensive lineman. Nate Lewis, he's one of our early recruits. And Nate Lewis is another guy that just plays mean. 6'4", 280 out of Hazelhurst, Georgia. Right here in I'm not saying here because I don't live there anymore, but right in the Statesboro, Savannah area, the Low Country area, or the South Georgia area. Jeff Davis High School. Man, when I was looking at this guy's tape, it's just something to behold. Beautiful technique. Like to get down and dirty with the guys on defense and want to move some guys around. Another guy that's probably going to help with the run blocking and the running game. So guys like Jalen White and guys like Gerald Green, and now with Amari Arnold, look like we're going to be getting some rushing yards as well. So, Georgia Southern's good, known for running. That's all of what it's about. Next person, defensive back, Kevin Speed. At one point, I thought this guy was going to be playing quarterback for us at one time. He reminds me a lot of Cam Ransom, to believe it or not. 6 foot, 200 pounds, from Cairo, Georgia. He's played a lot of quarterback at the high school, but he's also played safety. When we first saw this, the guys in the Discord were saying they would love to see him at safety because, Cam Ransom, it can't be the guy at quarterback. Seems like he's going to be. So another pickup, Kevin Speed can do a little bit of everything. It's no joke. Kevin Speed is a tremendous athlete. A tremendous athlete when it comes to, when it comes to playing football. He like I said, he does everything. And it was really good to see him on the team, and I can't wait to see what he does, where they put him. Like I said, he could do a little bit of everything. As of right now, they got him as an outside linebacker. That's probably going to change. That's probably going to change, but we'll see how that goes because he can do a little bit of everything. Outside linebacker, safety, DB, quarterback, a little bit of everything. Just truly a little bit of everything. So the next person that they picked up was who was the next person they picked up? Let me go ahead here and look. Next person who was picked up was Kai. I think I said that Kai Akiteo. Let me tell you about this kid. Another ferocious 6'1", 200. Very mean playing guy. Plays very mean. He was just nasty when some of the stuff I saw him do. Really good to see him on the defensive line. Look like we're going to be really good when it comes to getting at the quarterback. He's a big physical guy, strong, big time disruptor, little nimble on his feet. If you want to watch some of his tape, he has a lot. He's very nimble on his feet for a big guy and at that position. So that's pretty cool to see. Next person that we did pick up, getting close to the end, MJ Stroud from Covington, Georgia, Alcovey High School, 6'4", 235. Another outside linebacker, athletic, can get in the backfield, very, very fast, high motor, very good tackler. I think this is somebody that's going to be on the outside trying to get at the quarterback with the speed rush. One thing about him as well, if you look at his highlight tapes, he's played a bit of slot receiver. So once again, you're looking at guys that are actually really good at just playing football, athletes all over the place. So that's going to be really cool to see. Like I said, MJ Stroud. Also, MJ Stroud come from Covington, Alcovey. The next few guys, especially 2 out of the last 3, I'm so glad we got these guys because these men or these young men look like they could be leaders on this team down the road. Starting with Mark Stampley. Let's talk about Mark Stampley real quick. Mark Stampley, phenomenal defensive back from Stars Mill, in a high school in Georgia. Region 2.25A Player of the Year, and this is really, let me take this off. I want to talk to you guys. Take these off because the shades were fun, but it's time to take them off. This kid, I'm really surprised that more teams didn't look at him because when I look at his tape, he looks like he can play at a bigger school. And I'm going to say that for someone else too in here. I think a lot of these kids could play at bigger schools. But something about this kid, he does so much when it comes to just playing defensive back. He also does well in the return game on special teams. This has Coach Whitley written all over it. These are the type of defensive backs that Coach Whitley constantly try to bring to the table and have these guys ready to play out the gate. I would not be surprised if this kid plays out the gate. I would not be surprised. This is a really big pickup for Georgia Southern. Knowing what we've been going through in the defensive back department, I'm sitting here to tell you that this is one of the kids I would not be surprised if he plays right away. And I'm not joking about that. I think he's that good. So that's going to be pretty awesome. The next person that we picked up after that was Treston Jordan out of Alpharetta, Georgia, Denmark High School, 6', 200. I didn't watch much on him. I should have watched a little bit more on him, but I do know that that Tressman is ready to go. He's ready to play. I'm trying to find out what did I put in my notes about him. I thought I put something out here. Please forgive me for the delay, but I know for certain I did. Let's see, where is it? Did I put anything? Well, it doesn't know. It's not in my notes. I do apologize. But like I said, I'm really glad that Tristan Jordan is with us, or with Georgia Southern. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to. There it is, right there. Um, he he played. He was a first team Forsyth County News All County Football Team selection as a senior. Had 65 tackles, including 5 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, and 7 pass breakups. Also had 2 defensive touchdowns. Named second team All Region as a junior. Rated with 3 stars. And I think that's one of the things that we're good at here, Georgia. So we're getting a lot of 3-star players, and we're getting guys like Tristan Jordan, 6', 200. One thing about him, there wasn't much tape on him. I didn't find much, so I wasn't able to see what he had. I couldn't see what he had to offer on the field. But based on these numbers right here, look like he's just another defensive back that's probably going to be rotated in and out to continue to help and be one of these guys that's going to continue to help stop the pass, because we've been doing really poor with the passing game last year. And last but not least, before I get to these Falcons, this is my favorite pickup this year. And I'm not joking. When I was so hyped about Cam Ransom, I got this same feeling with this guy, Ashton Whitner, 6'1", 195, defensive back out of Greenville, South Carolina. He has leadership written all over him. Not only that, he's good. Not only that, because I looked at the tape. I think he's a phenomenal player. The things he's done, very good tackler, hard hitter, one of the best safeties in the state of South Carolina. And to be honest, I think he led this whole state of South Carolina in interceptions. So for us to pull him out of the state and come into our state is a phenomenal move. Shout out to Coach Whitley, Coach Clay Helton for picking this kid up. Very, very good pickup for these guys. And as soon as he, I caught wind of him and knew who he was. I followed him on Twitter, and I'm just watching him. And, a lot of kids say, a lot of people say kids shouldn't be on Twitter if they're athletes. It's not a good place for them. But he's rooting on the other players that are coming to the school. He's proud that other players that are signed today, or your sign on signing day, was happy that they were here. Seems like he has like this infectious, vibe about him that's going to make other players want to do better. I mean, he was already tweeting to Mark Stampley about them boys going to wreck the Sun Belt together. He actually responded back to me telling me what he wanted to do, and because I wanted him to be out here doing big things. I'm telling you, he is going to be. I think this is the gem of all of this. Everybody talk about the quarterbacks. Everybody talk about Amari Arnold, and rightfully so. Those guys are really good. Nothing to take away from them, but it's something about this kid right here. It's just something about this kid right here that makes me feel that he's going to be something special at Georgia Southern. I will tell you this. Like I said, I think he led the state in interceptions, the whole state of South Carolina in high school. His senior year, he had 141 tackles. Like I said, he's a tackler. 119 of them were solo. I'm sorry. I take that back. Let me back up. His senior year, he had 59 tackles. 47 of them were solo. 7 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries. So for his career, he had 141, 119 solo, 13 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. That senior year, with 7 interceptions, 47 solo tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, like I said, he does not, not only that he shows what he can do on the field, he has like this vibe about him that he wants to be a leader off the field and for his teammates. That is what I'm talking about when it comes to, just being a great football player. Nothing to take away from the rest of the guys, but Ashton Whitner is my favorite pickup this year. Shout out to Greenville High School, Coach Porter for coaching this guy up, Coach Greg Porter for coaching this guy up to being who he is. I'm actually surprised that we were able to get him. That was just a really good pickup right there. So that is all the picks. Man, look, Winter is rolling right along. A little longer than usual because of the content, but we're going to keep rolling. Shout out to Coach Clay Helton, shout out to Coach Witt and the rest of the staff. You guys done a phenomenal job. Really good to see. And before we close, let's talk about these Falcons. The Falcons have a chance to win 4 in a row. They play against the 49ers. They play against the Lions, the Buffalo Bills, and the Saints. I don't know if that's in the right order. But nevertheless, could they go 4-0? It's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched to see if these guys can go 4-0. If they beat San Francisco, which is a big if they beat San Francisco this upcoming game, man, you're in a big discussion about where you're going to be in the playoffs. If they win out, that means they're going to be 10-7. It could be, really big implications for them making it there. Personally, more realistically, I think they're probably going to go 3-1, and I'm kind of leaning towards 2-2. But if they go 4-0, you're talking about a pretty hot team that don't have much to lose with less talent but a bigger heart. So we may have a situation here where the Falcons could actually make the playoffs, might make a run. They might make a run. I know it sounds crazy. People looking at me crazy. Oh, no, we need a tank for a draft pick. No, when you're playing and competing, you want to be at the mountaintop every single time. No matter what type of team you have to drag with you, no matter what other team that you have to root for, if they're the best or they're the worst, you need to have the ambitions to want your team to go far. You want, as a teammate and as a player, you want to go far every year. That's the way it is, and I'm sticking to it. I think they could go 4-0, more realistically 3-1, but it all starts against San Francisco. If they beat San Francisco, we having a really serious talk at that point. But we'll wait and see how that comes out. Every before games, I do a pre and post game on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to check that out. If you're not watching, or if you're watching on YouTube, you already know what time it is. If you haven't been watching on YouTube, you're listening on the podcast avenues, go over there to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that channel. That's where I talk about Georgia Southern and I talk about Atlanta Falcons football. So just keep it short and sweet with the Falcons. That's going to be the end of this podcast. I know we've been running long, almost 45 minutes, almost double than what I normally do. But with all the content, all the guys to talk about, all the players that have been coming through for National Signing Day that have committed, I had to talk about them, give them my 2 cents. Shout out to the Georgia Southern football staff. Great job. Falcons, you got some work to do. Is it doable? Yes, it is. But you got work to do. All right. Thank you guys once again if you made it this far. Put 5 stars on this podcast if you haven't already. Let people know what I'm doing over here if you're coming through the YouTube avenues. Like, share, and subscribe. Like if you like what you see. Share this video. Let people know what I'm doing over here. And subscribe to the channel to be notified and updated on every time I put up a video or information on my channel. All right, y'all. Thank you guys once again. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.